Hey, everybody, it's Nancy May from Doing Best with Eldercare Success. And this episode is about observation. Now, I'm going to guess you think you're pretty good at sort of observing all those subtle little details in your own life. But sometimes, as a caregiver, we fall into zombie land. Yep, it happens to all of us. So many things are hitting us all one right after the other. We've got our corporate lives, our family lives. We're an employee, we're an employer, we're a leader, we're family members, and we're taking care of mom and dad, or maybe even a spouse. So it's really easy to fall into that zone, especially when we're exhausted. But I'm going to give you a few examples of when that zone is really not good for you. Now, sometimes it's healthy for us. I get it. We just need to sort of have a mental break. But not seeing what's around you or just not being observant is something that can get us into trouble and, more importantly, can get our folks into trouble. So I'm going to give you 3 examples. The first happened when my husband and I were up at a diner called the Sycamore Inn up in Bethel, Connecticut. Gosh, we love that place. Dirty, grungy, whatever it is. It was your true 60s diner. And it was good. At least we enjoyed it. In any case, there was a woman who was helping an older lady. She was obviously in aid of some sort. And as she was bringing this woman out into the car, she put her purse down on the ground next to the car. Struggling to get this lady into the car, although she seemed to know what she was doing, her mind was definitely a million miles away. So we offered to help. The key here, though, is that there was an accident waiting to happen with this older woman, even with a practiced and trained aide. Now, my husband was a former police officer, first responder, so immediately he thought something's kind of off here, and we went to help her out. Gosh, all she needed to do was have somebody grab that purse, the keys to the car, everything, and all hell would have broken out for her, the woman that she was caring for, and they'd be stranded. Observation number 1, be aware of your surroundings, even in public, and even if you're helping somebody into the car. You're not always safe. Number 2, now this one's a real big one. This is observation for care facilities. And I want you to be aware of this specifically because you are leaving your loved ones in the care and well-being, you hope, of a care facility when and if you sign up for that, or they sign up for it. In our case, my parents signed up for it, and I get it, although we did take them out. But that's for another episode. So in this particular case, there was a woman who was there, had some sort of cognitive issues, and she was much younger than the average resident there. She wandered out of the care facility, right out the front door. There's a table, there's a guard, there's everything there. She crosses a major highway, is hit by a car and killed. Now, where on earth were these people? The front desk, nobody bothered to monitor or even be aware of what was going on. A tragic situation happened for no reason whatsoever. Observation number 2. Now, observation number 3. Same care facility, different circumstance. I, as I referred to myself as the Wicked Witch from the North, because I would always fly down. Maybe that's not a good thing to share, but I'm going to do it anyway. But I would always fly down from the North to take care of mom and dad in the South. I was the one who was causing all the trouble and asking questions. But in this particular case, I went to the general manager of the facility. Knock, knock, knock. Hello, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Oh, Nancy, please come in and have a seat. Oh, no. I'll just be a minute. My question for you is, what is your insurance policy? Should it be for accidental death? Now that's a big question, huh? A woman looked at me puzzled and said, why is that? Well, I don't mean accidental death by falling or anything like that. I just mean fire. Oh, we'll never have a fire. We have doors, we have walls, we have everything is in place. And I said, yeah, no, I get it. But beyond my parents, I'm concerned about everybody else. But why is that, Nancy? She asked. Well, you see, my dad has been piling straw baskets of milk and donuts and sugar and anything he can bring back from the dining area for my mom, who wasn't feeling too good. He wanted to make sure that she had enough supplies of extra creamers and sugars for her coffee or whatever else he could bring back. I loved it. Dad always was watching out for mom, and I appreciate that, and I know she did too. But Dad didn't know his way around a kitchen. As tiny as it was an electric oven. And those straw baskets made me concerned. He's in there, a big guy. He isn't heavy, but he was a big guy. And just bumping around, thinking all he needed to do was bump his hip or a butt or even the arm of a wheelie walker. And boom, that electric stove would have turned on, top and bottom. Now, I was more concerned about the top because all it would take would just be enough heat to make those straw baskets go up in flames. They had an exit out to the side or into the back porch area, but they never would have been able to get out because Dad always made sure that door was locked tight to make sure that they were safe. So all I could think was, this is a disaster waiting to happen. As I explained what was happening, within seconds, a maintenance man was down there to unplug that oven. So here's the deal. If Mom or Dad are going into a care facility, please check out how their apartment, their facility is set up. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever for any of these care facilities to have any kind of equipment in their kitchen like that could cause an accident. Now, I get it. Gas stoves are not good, but all we need is a microwave and at most, maybe one of those induction tops. So those are just 3 points in observation. There's a lot more that goes on, but it's really simple. All it takes is to take a breath and just look at the world a little different. Slow things down. It's interesting how you're going to see the world around you and around the people that you're caring for in just a different perspective. Something as simple as an oven can turn into a disaster for not just for you or your parents, but for their neighbors, people across the hall, and that care facility. I'm going to guarantee that they had no plan in case of a fire. In fact, I never even heard of a fire drill in that place. So that's it for another episode of Doing It Best with Eldercare Success. Remember, keep your eyes open and your ears open. It doesn't take too long to do so. And maybe even a few sniffs along the way. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.